I know you all know Washoe County is the swing county, so we really appreciate it. I was just thinking earlier how 4 years ago I was here, I was doing voter protection at Reno High School, and that feeling we all got 4 years and a few days ago. I know I was there with a few of you in the crowd at Grand Sierra, and that sinking feeling we had that night. So I just want to make sure we all know we don't want to have that feeling again, right? We got to put everything we have out on the floor. We have today, we have Monday, and we have Tuesday to lay it all out there. A lot of these voters you're talking to today, we don't have cell phones for, so we're not texting them. We landlines for, so we're not calling them, which is why these lit drops are so important. This might be the only time they're getting a hit from the campaign. They may not have social media. So this is absolutely critical. So thank you so much for being here. And I just want to say it's an honor to introduce Governor Newsom. I was a high school student in 2004 in Southern California, growing up in an incredibly conservative town. And one of the first examples I had of making good trouble was then Mayor Newsom issuing same-sex marriage licenses in San Francisco. So without further ado, Governor Newsom.
Thank you. I love it. By the way, I've become that guy, you know, that older guy. When you were in high school, we first met. But it's going to happen to all of you. Trust me. This thing goes quickly. So does this election. It's finally here. You guys have been doing an incredible job, and I'm here just out of gratitude, just most importantly say thank you. Because I'm very aware, as a fifth-generation Californian, how incredibly important and essential you are to the fate and future of this democracy. I grew up at a time, I think between 1968 and 1988, this was a dominantly Republican state. In every presidential election, Republicans were picked overwhelmingly. The last 3 elections, you guys have made the difference, and we've had back-to-back-to-back Democratic victories. And let's make it a 4th come this Tuesday. And by the way, I'm not naive. None of that just happens. That's hard work. That's grit. That's folks like you taking the time off on a Sunday and going, walking your neighborhood, walking precincts you may never walk, dropping things off. You don't have to do this. You choose to do it. And that's why I said gratitude, just deep gratitude, deep thanks for giving, excuse my language, giving a damn. For not just sitting back, pointing fingers, talking about the way the world should be, but actually getting in there and doing something about it. I love to say about the future, it's not something to experience, it's something to manifest. It's something that, you know, exists because we make it so. It's decisions, not conditions, that will determine our fate and future. So if you're like me, self-medicating maybe with a beer or a glass of wine, watching Rachel Maddow every night, which, trust me, maybe 2 glasses over the last 3 years, you know, all that cynicism, all that fear, all that anxiety that I know a lot of us have. I mean, especially just with the punditry back and forth, the flip a station, you think that other campaign's just dominating. You're the antidote to that cynicism. You're the antidote to that fear. You're the antidote to that anxiety. So thank you for being meaningful. Thank you for being present. Thank you for being participatory. I think it was Justice Brandeis who said, and I've been thinking all of us about Supreme Court recently, but Supreme Court Justice Brandeis said, in a democracy, the most important office is office of citizen. Active, not inert citizenship. And so I hope after this election, after the Biden-Harris victory come this Tuesday, that you maintain your activism, because it's not you vote and guys like me decide. That's not democracy. It's what happens between elections that really, really matters. It's about making so all the things we are promising and promoting in this campaign. And that will not happen top down. We know that happens bottom up. We know that's through persuasion. We know that is through folks that allow the conditions to take shape, where the decisions that are made in Washington, D.C. can actually manifest in advancing the ideals that all of us are trying to advance. It's one thing to have a policy proposal on climate, another one on expanding the Affordable Care Act. It's another to have a policy position as it relates to mandatory background checks or whatever the issue may be, but we've got to create the conditions where those things can be made real and can be made possible. And that's why you're so important, not just today, not just tomorrow, not through 7 p.m. on Tuesday, election night, but for months and years ahead. Because at the end of the day, it's not going to all go back to normal on Wednesday morning, even after we win. None of us are naive about that. There has been so much vandalism done to our democracy. And you experience that, don't you? When you have friends that you're just maybe not as close to as you were 4 years ago, even though you both saw the world with a different set of eyes. You respected, they respected your support for the last, not like that anymore. This has become very toxic. And so I also hope after all this is done, we can sort of tone it down a little bit and start focusing on the things that unite us, not what divides us. Because at the end of the day, my why for why I support Kamala, and why I support Joe Biden, and why I've long supported Kamala Harris, who I've known for a quarter of a century, when she was on the same ballot I was on when I was running for mayor of San Francisco. She was running for district attorney of San Francisco. We're on the same ballot. When I was running for re-election, when she ran for attorney general, I ran for lieutenant governor, and privileged to see her in the U.S. Senate. Myself now as governor of California. The reason I've long supported her, the reason I've long supported Senator Joe Biden, events after events over many, many years, is their default is decency. Their default is bringing people together, not dividing us. It's not, I haven't heard the word grace much in the last 4 years. I'd like to start hearing that word a little bit more. I'd like to hear the word empathy again, right? So that's what's at stake. Politicians, we come and go. For moments in time. But there's these fundamental truths, and they're not always damn self-evident. And we've got to go back to those fundamental truths, that we're all in this together. We're all better off when we're all better off. That there's no leak on your side of our boat. We do rise and fall together. Don't begrudge other people's success. Don't tear other people down. Recognize that we all share the same human needs. We want to be loved, and we want to love. We all want to be respected. We all want to feel connected to something that's bigger than ourselves. We all love our kids. We love our communities. That's what's at stake in this election. It really is. Decency, honor, character, empathy, grace, compassion, sense of purpose beyond the moment. A framework that focuses sustainably, not just situationally. It's not about winning at other people's expenses. We got to triumph together. And so that's the spirit that brings me across the border, down the hill from that small suburb of yours in California. But it brings me here, and I'll conclude, to this pivotal moment, this hinge moment in American history, world history, arguably, and how impactful this county is to that future. You talk about swing counties in swing states. It's right here. It's right here. It's each and every one of you. And who the heck knows? We talked a moment ago. Let's not dream of regretting. Let's not wake up and play the I coulda, shoulda, woulda. Let's put everything out on the field. Do not run the 90-yard dash. We have gotten this close, this far together. put everything you have out on the field. Thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, Nevada, and thank you to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, our next president and vice president of the United States. Take care, everybody. Thank you, guys. Thanks for being here. Let's all get signed up. Thank you. Good. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Governor Newsom. It's been an honor to be a significant step down from you twice today. So thank you for getting the joke, Kevin. My name is Dave. I recognize a lot of you, which I love. And for those who have not been here before, we love that you're here today. I am one of our 2 voter activation regional directors here, and on behalf of everyone who works out of this center and everyone who's working on the campaign, thank you all so much. The work you're doing matters. We are changing minds. We are getting people to the polls. I've heard it over and over from our volunteers this weekend. I saw someone encountered a voter who was not going to vote at all and made a plan with them to vote for Joe and Kamala. Voters who wanted to vote and didn't know how, we helped them make a plan. Your work that you're doing today, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow and Tuesday, because we are going right up until 4 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon, your work is making a difference. We feel good, we're optimists, we're hopeful, we're taking nothing for granted. We don't want to just squeak by, we want to run up the score, right? So this makes a difference, so don't ever think that it doesn't, okay? So we're going to get you all going here in just a moment. We will run you through the specifics when you come up and see us. But do know, again, that this kind of outreach, as Michael said, these are people we can't hit with a phone bank, we can't hit with a text message, we're not going to see on Facebook. This may be our only chance to get through to them, and it matters. So, again, thank you all so much. We are going to make this really easy and painless for you, and just know that when you leave here and go out into the community, you are making a difference. So, thank you all again for your time, and let's go win this thing, right?
Colorado County. But it's going to be a blowout there. It's going to be close. I hope everybody in LA They signed you up to walk.
I just finished. That's why I got a little sunburn. I forgot. It come with not just sanitizer, it come with heat. You must I think not everyone was happy to see me. Oh, hey guys. Thank you guys. Oh, I love it.
You don't have the power to do it.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thanks for coming out over. Hanging out with us.
No, we are out of the segment. One more time. And how many people do you feel like you have?
Thank you guys. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, so this is all we're using from now